How's it going, folks? FM Stinger here, and this is your FM20 or 21 formation breakdown video. First episode is going to primarily think about tactics, formations that are going to help you get promoted through the leagues. Okay, so if you're doing a lower league save and you're trying to battle your way through the leagues, here's some of the formations that are going to help you do that. I have actually previously done a very similar video on this. I think it was my second video, but the channel's 2 months old now, and you can kind of see the age of the video. I wasn't really comfortable in front of the camera. My editing wasn't great. Now we're a world better. Plus, I use licensed music on that video, so everything got slowed down a bit. So when I rewatch it now, I'm kind of talking like this. So it's time for an upgrade, especially with FM21 around the corner. So let's get into it and let's get some tactics and formations set up so we can get up through the leagues. So on my current save, which we're working through on YouTube and a little bit of Twitch, it's called Kings of the North, and it's using a tiny club called FC Penrith, which using the editor we installed into the Vanarama North, so that's where we started. So if you look at the graph here on the screen, this is our journey through the leagues really. So our first season we managed to get promoted in second position. Now if you've done the Van National or Van North leagues or the Van South, they are brutal divisions to get up. So to get up is a bit of an achievement because only one goes up automatically. So for the Van North, the Van National and even League 2, your formation wants to be quite simple, basic and concentrating on players' strengths and a hell of a lot of concentration on their physical stats. Why are we concentrating on the physical stats? Because down in them leagues, your players aren't going to have the technical and mental attributes that's going to make them stand out. So you're not going to be able to play your expansive, short tick-attacker style of football. It can be done, but it's a lot harder. So generally, what is recommended is to go back to basics, simple roles, positions, concentrate on your physical aspects. So what you're looking for is you're looking for pace, you're looking for strength, jumping reach, work rate, teamwork. These are the attributes you really want to concentrate on, especially in key positions. Now for your Van Nationals, your Van North, your Van South, possibly even your League 2, a basic formation, think 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1 with out and out wingers involved. These are the sort of formations that are going to do you a world of good. Now the formation we used to get promoted from the Van North was this one. It's a take on a 4-4-2, so it's 4-2-2-2. That's how it's described in game. So you've got two defensive midfielders rather than a little bit further up, and you've got two attacking wingers there, one an inverted winger and one an out and out winger, supported by a couple of fullbacks. And up front you'll notice a target man, bit of an old school role but a really good role, and another forward who's more advanced and pressing onto the back line. Dead simple. Now team instruction wise, again, you don't want to overcomplicate it because the players don't have the mental attributes to take it in. Same thing with player instructions, you want to keep them to a minimum. Maybe if you've got a guy who's got long shots that are really good, get him on shoot more often, but in general keep it simple, keep it basic. So what we've got here is we're playing out of defence. We've got a lower tempo because our players aren't great on the ball, so they're going to slow it down and take that extra touch, and we're going to play wider, so we're going to bring our wingers and fullbacks into the game. So we're going to concentrate on getting it down the flanks and whipping the ball in because we've got two up front, so why not use them? In transition we have got distribute to playmaker. If you manage to get a decent playmaker, that's a nice little role, especially when they're deeper. Ping it into him, here you can start the moves off. If not, look for your fullbacks, it's always a good option. Out of possession, defend narrow, so we're keeping it compact, a higher defensive line so we can push higher up the pitch, and a higher line of engagement, so we're going to press high. That's where the pressing forward will come in handy. Going to press high up the pitch, try and run it back. A dead simple basic formation, very little player instructions. Get the ball down, get it to the wingers, and whip it into the target man. Whip it into the target man to knock down to the pressing forward. That should bring you a good amount of success. Okay, so we got up from the Van North, we went to the Van National, we played the same formation. A few new players come in because if you ever played down in those leagues, the turnover of players is huge. So we managed to get promoted again in the playoffs. Now if you look at the team that finished top there, they finished with 98 points, so getting up by the playoffs is no mean feat, especially when the second place team finished on 95. So key message again is get the players in, high pace, high physical attributes, let them do the business for you, keep your formation simple. Alright, so you move into League 2 now, you're a professional team, you're looking to move up the leagues still further. Will the 4-4-2s, the more basic formations work? Yes they will, if you get players in with a little bit more technical ability to go alongside that. Also, you have the option of progressing your formation because the players you bring in are going to be a higher quality. Your attribute levels are going to be getting into double digits now, so you're going to be looking at players with passing ability, with a little bit of flair perhaps. Quality of player that you can bring in can change your formation. We managed to change to a 4-1-4-1. The principles were still the same. We still played out wide with our two out-and-out wingers, and we still had an attacking midfielder backing them up. We dropped a striker, giving a bit of respect to the league, but we remained as a target man to give us an out ball. So you can see that we've progressed our 4-2-2-2 to a 4-1-4-1, but the principles, the basic principles are still there. Looking at the team instructions there, not many still, keeping it simple. I tell you, from the Van National, the Van North to Leagues 1 and 2, they're tough, man, they're tough. If you can look at the table there on our next progression of the leagues, 74 points and everyone around us with 72, 75, 76. It's so tight. If you don't get a great booming start, playoffs are probably going to be where you're at unless you're a higher reputation team. Again, in League 1, it was a case of 4-1-4-1 with a little bit of 4-4-2 variation to get us up. The player abilities are going to go up a little bit because you're in League 1 now from League 2. So instead of looking at attributes in the 10-11 range, you now can start looking at the 11 to 14 range. If you nail a 14 range, then you're going to be seriously making moves up that league. Looking back at the formation that got us up from League 1, it was very similar to the one that we got up from League 2. Because the standard of play got better, we were able to introduce more creative roles to the team, such as an inside forward there, and such as a Mazzala. Now, if you're not familiar with the Mazzala, I love linking the Mazzala with an inside forward or inverted winger. Reason being, the inverted forward or winger is going to drop into these areas here, okay? Going to be backed up by his fullback. But if you've got Mazzala all on the go as well, he's going to come over here as well. So you're going to have a little triangle of terrorising the back there. And if you've got a defensive midfielder who can cover up, why not stick a Mazzala on attack and just let him cause havoc? That helped us big time and helped us get up from League 1 into the Championship. All thanks to having a few more quality technical players that we managed to get in, all because of the promotion. You've just got to keep chipping away and making smaller changes. If you look at the team instructions, again, they remain basic. We will change in match to counter some teams, so that's why I like to leave out of possession pretty bare until you get into the match scenario. If a team's attacking you down the flanks, get that defensive width out wide, nullify it. If they're coming through the middle, flip it on its head, get yourself narrow, make it hard to break down. Once you get into a league like the Championship, the quality of player you can get rivals some Premier League teams. Some of the teams I was playing against had players valued at 25, 30 million pounds. So obviously, being a smaller reputation team, we weren't able to get that sort of player, but we were able to get a better standard of player. So we go about it in the 4-1-4-1 manner. Difference is we can play with the roles a bit because the technical quality of the players you bring in is way better. Also meaning you can add player instructions a bit more because their mentals are going to be a lot better. You can add instructions to those already set by the game. Your team instructions can be more in depth, as you can see here. We've got a rake of different instructions there because the players are more mentally capable of using it. We've also started to use an offside trap, which I wouldn't have touched in the lower leagues because of a lack of concentration, composure, positioning in my defenders. But now, once we're in the Championship, we've got the technical players who can do that. So we're pushing right up the pitch with an offside trap. Risky business if you haven't got the players to do that. But in summary, in the lower leagues, keep it basic because the players you're going to attract are not going to have the technical and mental abilities to do your Barca style players, your Cities and Liverpool style player. You want to be looking at physical attributes, pace, strength. Get up the leagues with wide play, whipping it into the box, 2 strikers where possible. Once you can progress to the Championship, maybe even League 1 if you're a higher stature team, bring in more technical players, get a little bit more funky with the roles, drop the passing a bit shorter, bring in the tiki-taka, get up them leagues.